how digitalization is powering the smart and sustainable green transition in shipping.
Right, so everyone wants to create like software as a service, digital tools as a service, maintenance as a service. Yeah, your AMC providers now provide annual maintenance contracts for ships.
AI will never replace humans, but humans who can work with AI will replace humans who cannot.
Distinguished teachers, honorable dignitaries, esteemed alumni, and valued cadets, it's a profound privilege to welcome you all to the 44th session of DMET SAMVAAD. This distinguished gathering serves as a vital bridge connecting the wisdom of our accomplished alumni and aspirations of our emerging marine engineers. Before we begin today's session, let's take a moment to remember Lord Ganesha, as we are in the blessed stage following Ganesh Chaturthi, and may His grace be with us throughout our discussion. I, Cadet Aman Somra, roll number 9852, DMET class of 2027, shall be your host for today. On behalf of DMET SAMVAAD team, it is my pleasure to extend a warm welcome to each of you.
And I am Cadet Gaurav Sinha, roll number 9898 from the DMET class of 2027. Honored to be your co-host for this session. Today, we celebrate the continuity of our maritime heritage and the dynamic exchange of knowledge that defines DMET SAMVAAD. This esteemed forum upholds its noble mission of fostering meaning, discourse, and strengthening the bonds that unite our maritime engineering fraternity across generations. We are honored by your presence and are looking forward to the enriching dialogue ahead. DMET SAMVAAD represents a leading series of webinars established to foster meaningful conditions between our distinguished alumni and current cadets. This transformative initiative was launched under the esteemed guidance of Shri Arun sir, with conceptualization by Shri Harsh Sana sir and Shri Sachin Kumar Mahato sir from the DMET class of 2020 alongside Shri Sachin Saurav sir from the DMET class of 2021.
Since its inaugural session, DMET, the brand and the bond, on December 19, 2020, the platform has successfully conducted 43 enlightening sessions. Notable among these gatherings are the 9th session, DMET, Bonding Across Generations, featuring keynote speaker Dr. Ravi Kumar Manotra, a special session on enhancing maritime awareness among civilian population of India, with retired Admiral Karamveer Singh, Param Vishis Seva Medal and Ati Vishis Seva Medal, and 38th session, the Six Ship Project, revisiting our ancient maritime past, presented by Shri Sanjeev Sanyal sir, member of the Economic Advisory Council to the Prime Minister of India.
This 44th DMET SAMVAAD session explores smart and sustainable shipping, how digitalization is powering the green transition. Our discussion will provide mariners and aspiring maritime professionals with essential insights into how digital innovation is revolutionizing environmental sustainability in shipping. Together, we will examine the transformative technologies and green practices that are defining the future of our maritime industry. Today, we are privileged to welcome Sri Kaushik sir, Director of SLABS Consultancy Private Limited, as our distinguished keynote speaker.
Kaushik sir is a great maritime green tech solution specialist with extensive experience in advancing sustainable shipping practices. His remarkable career includes senior leadership roles in leading maritime technology companies, serving as general manager Far East at Resort Most Tankers, where he championed cost-effective greenhouse reduction initiatives and holding key positions at StormGeo and DNV Solutions and Performance Management. His expertise encompasses maritime certification, digital innovation, and green technology solutions that are transforming our industry. Through his work in performance management systems and sustainable maritime operations, Sir has consistently demonstrated how technology can drive environmental stewardship in shipping. We are honored to have and share his valuable insights on how digitalization is shaping the future of sustainable maritime operations.
We now move on to a special address by Sri Arun Kumar Singh sir, a highly respected alumnus and a guidelight for our fraternity. His presence today brings immense value to this session.
I am sure Director Sir is not present at this particular moment, but I'll start addressing him for this particular meeting. Honorable Director of the Indian Maritime University, Kolkata campus, dear Admiral retired, Shri Amit Bose, respected keynote speaker, Shri Kaushik, Singh, guest speaker, Commander retired, Shri Gaurav Agarwal, the organizers of DMET SAMVAAD, especially today's SAMVAAD's presenters, Cadet Somra, Cadet Gautam Raj Sinha, Cadet Harshraj Singh, and most importantly, the future of our marine industry, the disciplined, hardworking, intelligent cadets of IMUKC, who are always ready to take up the challenges in their everyday lives and eagerly await to take up the rigors of the seas and the dynamics of the marine industry. It is a privilege to address you today online on a topic which is just not a trend, but the very bedrock of our industry's future, how digitalization is powering the smart and sustainable green transition in shipping. We just had a very intriguing technical paper meet on the 4th of January, organized by the Institute of Marine Engineers India in Kolkata, where Director Sir, myself, and Professor Niyogi, we all had presented our papers, and the subject was Future of Navigation. More or less, the subject matters which we discussed on that particular day covers the subject which has been the matter to discuss today, how digitalization is powering the smart and sustainable green transition in shipping. The subject matter will be further elaborated by the insightful words of the session's distinguished keynote speaker, Shri Kaushik Singh, and guest speaker, Commander retired Shri Gaurav Agarwal. My address today does not include the often discussed why the urgent imperative of decarbonization, the environmental challenges, but very briefly focuses on the how. And this is where cadets, your generation, that is Generation Alpha's involvement comes in. Very important. For centuries, shipping has been the backbone of global trade, powered by wind, then coal, and for the last 100 years, fossil fuel is what was the fuel which we used for running the shipping industry. The era is closing now. The fossil fuels are on the way out. The new one is what is dawning now. Its engines are data, connectivity, and intelligence. These are the main things what the future engineers will be taking along with them on the ship. So how exactly the digitalization fueling this green revolution? Let it be broken down into three powerful keys, which I find is very, very interesting. The intelligence of the vessel, from blind power to smart precision. That is what the basic thing is. The power which we had, we could harness it to a certain extent, but we were not able to bring it down to smart precision. But modern day technology, which is being provided to us can do that. Imagine a ship that is no longer just a steel hull, but a floating connected data center. That is what it is going to become. This is the smart ship. Through a network of sensors, IoT devices, and artificial intelligence, we can now monitor everything in real time. The speed, the weather, the fuel consumption, the power, whatnot, everything in real time can be monitored, from engine performance and fuel consumption to hull fouling and weather patterns, what is happening outside. Everything is going to be provided to you immediately. This means we can move from guesswork to precision. This is another very useful thing, that no guesswork. AI-powered algorithms can calculate the most fuel-efficient speed and route through weather routing, considering currents, waves, and wind. Sometimes as simple as keeping a hull clean through monitoring can reduce drag and cut fuel consumption from 10 to 15%. This isn't just cost saving, it's a direct, massive reduction in emissions. Digitalization makes the invisible visible and the inefficient efficient. What we previously could not see is right before in front of our eyes, and what is the maximum efficiency that we can gain from our engines and the things which have been provided to us on ship is what makes the whole operation very efficient. Second, which is the thing which is very important, is the intelligence of the port, from waiting to integrating. Now, there was a time when we used to be running the ship at the maximum speed, coming to a port, waiting over there, because that is what a ship does. It goes from one port to another carrying cargo, wait at anchorages, and waiting at anchorages becomes a source of pollution. Ships pollute the atmosphere by doing nothing at anchorage. Digitalization is creating just-in-time arrivals through secure data exchange between ship and port. A vessel can optimize its speed so it arrives precisely when its berth is ready, slashing waiting time and emissions. Smart ports, that is the call of the day now. Adani in India is one of them, which has got a very good turnaround without allowing the ships to wait. With automated cranes and electrical equipments, further streamline operations, creating a seamless, low-carbon logistic chains. That becomes a very, very important thing as far as the logistics are concerned. Third, the intelligence of the system, from silos to energy. Now, what is a silo? Silo is something where we used to be keeping a grain at one particular time. And this is where the thing is that the ship used to keep all the knowledge to itself. The port used to be keeping all the knowledge to itself. The office used to be keeping all the knowledge to itself. But now in real time, all this particular knowledge is shared, and it becomes a very efficient operation as far as the movement of ships are concerned, saving fuel, preventing pollution to take place. The true power of digitalization lies in connection. That is where the dismantling of silos comes into picture. Blockchain can create transparent, tamper-proof logs for carbon emissions and alternative fuel tracing. Big data analytics can help design better ships, plan better trades, and even de-risk the adoption of new green technologies like green methanol or ammonia by modeling their performance and safety long before the first liter is pumped. That is how best these particular things are supposed to be happening. Now, this is where cadets, this is the playground is. IMU KC is equipping you with the fundamentals of marine engineering and ship management. That is what you are being taught. But your career will be defined by your ability to also master data analysis, cyber security, and digital operational technology. These are being implemented in the courses that are being taught in most of the IMET, marine your institutes, which are there. It is being implemented, but in a very gradual manner. It is not coming. They still think it's a futuristic thing, but it is already there. There are ships which are autonomous vessels which run with very few crew on board. Some of the ships, they don't have any crew at all, which are not on ocean-going vessels. Maybe they are liner vessels going from one port to another in a very secured manner. But the future lies in a ship which is going to be controlled from shore. IMU KC is gearing up to provide this particular knowledge in the best possible manner, as far as I am aware of. But your career will be defined by your ability to also master data analysis, cyber security, and digital operational technology, which you should be able to master over a period of time as a cadet, and when you come down for your exams when you are ashore. You will not just be engineer officers on board. You will be data navigators, energy managers, and sustainability champions. The bridge and the engine room of the future will have as many screens displaying data streams as the bridge has windows looking out at the sea. Most of you have not seen a ship. The bridge, it looks, it is open from all the sides, and you can see this thing, your sea all around you. It is a very beautiful scene. And just imagine all these particular things. There will be screens provided to you in which real-time data will be screened, and you will be knowing what exactly is happening all around you, and how well your ship is progressing out into the sea. What exactly is at what speed you are going to get the maximum output from your engines. Everything is going to be provided to you in real time. The green transition is not a distant concept anymore. That is the very important thing. The digital tools are not optional extras. They are the core systems, and you will use to ensure your vessel is not only profitable, but also planetary. That is global. They can move around from one place to another without any difficulty. This also includes a real-time your informations or predictions about what technologies you are going to use for doing your maintenance and everything. To sum it up, the journey to sustainable shipping is a vast ocean, and we must cross. Digitalization is not just the wind in our sails, it is the advanced weather routing system that plots the most efficient course, the sophisticated engine management system that ensures we use every drop of fuel optimally, and the global communication network that ensures we all move forward together. Dear cadets, you are the architects of this new era. Embrace the technology, question the status quo, Be curious, be digital, and be green. The industry is waiting for your signal. It is waiting for you to step on board, not just as a cadet and later as an engineer officer in various ranks, but as agents of change who will confidently leverage technology to drive the smart and sustainable shipping era from a concept into a daily reality. The technology is ready, the regulations are coming, the market is demanding. The only missing link is a generation of seafarers who will signal through their actions and decisions that the future starts now. IMUKC will be helping you in doing so. Thank you, DMET SAMVAAD, for the opportunity to address the cadets after a long time outside the classrooms. And thank you, Director Sir and distinguished speakers, who for your passionate indulgence in the subject of the immediate future. Jai Hind.
Thank you very much, sir, for your motivating words and valuable insights. It's not time for the keynote address of this session. I would like to invite our distinguished keynote speaker, Shri Kaushik sir. So your thoughts on smart and sustainable shipping will guide not only the first and second year cadets who have joined us from the college premises, but also the third years and fourth year cadets whom this session is being broadcasted to in their hostel in understanding how digitalization is shaping the green transition of our industry. Sir.
Now you should be able to see this. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Lovely. Okay, so a very good evening, everyone. I don't know if Admiral Bose has joined the session or not. If not, kindly convey my best to him and the entire faculty. And thank you so much, Arun sir, for sharing your thoughts. And you actually summed up a lot of what I was going to say as well. And it's really the smart and sustainable way forward, and how digitalization is changing the entire concept of shipping is here to stay. So I'm so glad that the future sort of engineers who are sitting in front of the screen now and watching this presentation would probably benefit from these extraordinary times when you have a healthy mix of AI and then human intervention and a very hybrid model. Yeah. Okay, so I would show a few slides and I can take questions after the session. And plus, I'll be happy to stay in touch with anyone who wants any information or updates on anything which sort of I have been involved in so far. Yeah, so Carly Fiorina, for those of you who don't know who she was, she was the CEO of Hewlett Packard in the US and the first woman to be heading a Fortune 20 company. She really transformed the way Hewlett Packard did business. And what she mentioned was that what can be digitalized will be digitalized. Yeah, very famous quote. However, what is digitalization and where does it fit in terms of the 3Ds? Yeah, you would have come across these terminologies in technology adoption in your day-to-day sort of curriculum. And so what does digitization and digitalization and digital transformation mean? Yeah. So in short, in terms of a scope and in terms of technology adoption, digitization is just converting analog information into digital information so that any computer can store and process the information and transmit it when required. However, digitalization is the technology adoption which now the maritime world is going through. And if you look at the 3Ds, the maritime world is somewhere between digitalization and digital transformation. We are still not through with the permanent change in every organization, but we are developing a value creation in the ecosystem, which will allow a permanent change of digital transformation and technology. So these are the 3Ds. So in terms of technology adoption, it's the digitization. So if you're converting, say, a Word document into a PDF, that's like digitization. But then if you are clicking on YouTube links, and if you're clicking on a Samvaad link like this and getting into a Zoom call, that's digitalization. If you're trying to generate revenue, or if you're trying to reduce cost opportunities for your companies, right? That's basically digitalization. So we are in the process of digitalization globally, and India is at that crossroads where we are in that process of technology adoption. So the future lies in what you do, actually. So this slide actually shows the challenges in a traditional shipping domain. And Arun sir talked about silos in which we work. So if you look at the four sort of silos, which are asset management, chartering, operation, and ship management. So traditional shipping domain works out of these silos. So if you look at the ship, which is at the bottom, then you have to go through these complex interconnected processes, which includes finance and admin, and then you have third parties coming in and doing the other sort of work. So what happens is the revenue then becomes like something which everyone, of course, wants to seek. Managing costs becomes an issue. The operating model is a challenge, simply because your organizational and technological capabilities are limited when you use a silo approach. Yeah. However, the last 15, 20 years of the work which I have done in digitalization and digital transformation, basically through the various use cases, we have increased the value potential of each of these entities, and we have made sure that the capabilities requirements move up to scale. Earlier, when you say a ship management company would run 5 to 10 vessels, scaling up would not allow them more than 20 vessels. And now with digital transformation, the scaling up, any small time ship owner can now think of replicating the digital transformation journey through various use cases and technology adoption by having the organizational and technological capabilities not compromised anymore. So the operating model becomes extremely scalable. And what happens is when you deploy the data and the insight. So how do you get insight? Because now through meaningful data, you are able to measure correctly what is happening on board. And then the data sets are sent across the shore. And with that, meaningful analytics is done. So hence the operating model can easily weed out the extra costs and generate top line and a good bottom line revenue for shipping companies. Yep. So this challenge has been actually met with digital transformation. Yeah. So this is the model. On the left, I've just shown you what the operating model is, and any target state for shipping is a seamless ecosystem with all the dedicated applications driving the business performance. So now when you enter a modern shipping company, you would see an ecosystem which will have the assets right at the center, the shipping company. And then all around it, you will have data strategy, technology, analytics, not to forget security and data on the cloud. So all these are sort of the future, which holds exponential growth of opportunities. They say sky is the limit, but then you can change that to say that space is the limit for you people. Some technology trends which we have seen making their headway into our daily lives. We have seen transforming technology trends. If you see the top part of this slide, it shows you the future transport and logistics, low carbon energy systems, right, which includes carbon captures and sequestration and all that, and the utilization thereof, harnessing health care data, very, very important, and towards precision food, and of course, the new space race. Yeah, so these are the transforming trends, right? However, shipping is a bit not there when it comes to all these transforming trends, but the ones we are into are the bottom 5, which essentially means the enablers and the sustainers. So let's dive into the enablers. So the enabling technologies are essentially the acceleration of digitalization. Yeah. When you talk about that, we are looking at AI, IoT, distributed ledger technologies, AR and VR, quantum computing, and everything as a service, right? So everyone wants to create like software as a service, digital tools as a service, yeah, maintenance as a service. Yeah, your AMC providers now provide annual maintenance contracts for ships. Then the second enabler, which is really gaining ground, is virtualization and automation. Yeah, some of you would have heard of digital twins. Yeah, so the benefits of this are enormous. In DNV, I was involved in a couple of projects which looked at digital twins, which looked at autonomous control. Arun sir talked about the autonomous vessels. In DNV, we were the first ones in 2014 to come up with a prototype of an autonomous vessel. It was called Revolt. You can Google it. Revolt, as in Revolution Revolt, Revolt DNV, and it was something which has been kept in the back burner. And should IMO come up with MASS guidelines in a more sort of detailed way, we should see the daylight of this project. Then, of course, the other enabler is towards precision materials. This is real holistic material selection, where we have seen the hull plate thickness reduce 30-40% because of better material selection. We have real-time digital sensors, which Arun sir mentioned in his talk. And we have new manufacturing processes, new joining processes, and a model-based prediction tool, which help us create virtual material test labs. Yeah. Some of the sustaining technologies which we are all working on in the hydrospatial and ocean space is the engineering natural ecosystems, which has these 5 sort of areas of work, yeah, which includes something called synthetic biology. Yeah, so that's something which is gaining ground. Along with that, we are looking at negative emission technology, right? So net zero is one thing, and now we are looking at having negative emission technologies, yeah, where carbon credits and market-based measures are going to form the key for all this. And then, of course, we are getting into wider use of the ocean space. We use multi-purpose offshore platforms, digital twins, of course, and biotechnology, right? Which are also looking at powering the grids from the ocean. So the types of digital technologies which we sort of have are essentially four. We're looking at sensing, enabling, decision-making, and data handling. So a ship basically has to go through all the four in a measured way so that it can intelligently use these technologies and make life easier for everyone. All the stakeholders can then use these computed technologies and make sure that the analysis and reporting is of a very high standard. And informed decisions are then made based on these. Okay, so just a couple of slides to show that going digital actually is increasing performance across the board in all sectors of businesses, including maritime, offshore, and the industry at large. So a deeper focus on innovation, and there is a 51% increase in more value creation. I mean, these are surveys done by sort of eminent organizations like the Boston Consulting Group and the Singapore Shipping Association, from where we were helping them in DNV get these numbers from the various operators and offices, right? So these are numbers which shows that research is very meaningful, and going digital literally pays off. Yeah. So if you look at a tech roadmap to 2050, I'll just leave this slide on so that you can read the 5 reasons why digitalization needs to be the key agenda in every organization. Yeah. So simply, competitors are doing it, customers want it, regulations are evolving, you have to protect against headwinds, which means the barriers and the challenges which are coming through. And of course, you need to future-proof yourself, right? So in the maritime context, all these are very, very important. And you people are on the threshold of contributing to all this. And you would probably see the benefits of all this in the next 20 odd years. Yeah, we may or may not be around to see that, but I'm sure with your training, what you have been provided, and with your mentorship and the critical pathways which you choose forward, you will surely be able to utilize all the tech advantages. Yeah, and use the digital transformation framework. Yeah. So these are, of course, the why, what, and the how. Yeah. So you must start with the how here. How means you solidify the foundation, your processes, people, data, partner systems, and of course the change management. So what you need to transform is the core and build new digital offerings. And then, of course, that really defines your business needs and inspiration and the pace at which you need to transform your framework. So every agile and digital organization uses this digital framework very, very successfully, and they make sure that the foundation is solid before they move on to create new businesses and domain functions. So maritime impact, some of you would have seen this megatons of carbon dioxide release. Everybody has been talking about this in every forum, right? But it's going to be a combination, right? no one technology or no one transition can do it alone. It has to be done all together. So if you look at the baseline and the green pathway, which is, say, closer to 400 megatons of CO2, which we all want to achieve by 2050, we can only achieve this if we have a combination of alternate fuels, by getting speed reduction technologies, energy efficiency technologies, and smarter and intelligent logistics. So if someone tells you that we can do it all alone, obviously that person either doesn't know the full story or doesn't have the full technological overview, right? Another area of maritime impact is additive manufacturing. This was earlier called 3D printing. So this is really taking shape now, and we are seeing very many safety critical ship spare parts are now additively manufactured. So we are looking at shafts, we are looking at now mechanical seals, we are looking at, in fact, I don't know if you have read in Bangalore, they made a post office with additive manufacturing. Can you imagine? So houses and all that is now the way of the future. So this advanced manufacturing can really reduce the demand for transport, and you can print. Agents can print spare parts in the various ports and have it supplied to the vessels at short notice. So this is really a game changer, if you ask me. And of course, the crux of it is digitalized shipping, where we talk about control centers. We in StormGeo and in Alfa Laval, we had onshore control centers which were monitoring the entire ship remotely. We could see all the pressures, temperatures, RPMs, and all that if we wanted to, right? Which, of course, we used for fault finding. We don't really want to take over operational control, which, of course, the people on board should do effectively. But if there is to be a problem, then our onshore control centers can take a larger share of that control and help fault find, right? Last but not the least, the maritime impact, which requires a very complex and cyber physical system on board, is safety. And this has to be interconnected. So if you look at the grid, which we are showing all the various control systems on board, this has to have complete cyber physical systems, which requires assurance technologies. And simulation is the key. Yeah. We have very powerful simulators now which simulate any of these systems and the fault finding, which before going on board, you can train yourself and see what to expect on board. When you go on board, you can then have a look and be better equipped with these risk scenarios. Okay. And just a bit on the regulatory timeline, just to show you what's coming. I mean, you all must be aware of this. And by the time you people, some of you join next year or in 27 or 28, okay, you would have all the GHE strategy revisions, and then you would have fuel intensity and pricing, which essentially means you would be paying for carbon. Anything extra which you emit to the atmosphere, you will be paying. So under that scenario, you are left no choice but to safely adopt the decarbonization solutions. Yeah, so these are some of the solutions which I've had extensive experience in working in all the 5 areas. And these numbers which you see at the bottom, for example, logistics and digitalization can get you a 20% improvement in fuel consumption. Hydrodynamics, 5 to 15, improvement in machinery and using fuel cells and all that can get you another 5 to 20. And of course, energy, alternate fuels, wind power can get you the maximum benefit. Excuse me. And of course, the after treatment, which now a lot of people have started to work on, is carbon capture and storage. Yeah. So these are some of the decarbonization solutions which are out there. And once you people join vessels, I'm sure you will see some of these solutions installed on some of the newer vessels. However, at SLABS Consultancy, the company which I run, I'm trying to help smaller companies and aging vessels with these decarbonization solutions. These small shipping companies who don't have the full resources to, hire or adopt very costly sort of consultants. So I'm in that space. I'm trying to help out a few shipping companies, at my time and effort to help them across the line. Yeah. So that's like something which I've been meaningfully doing for the past few years. And I really enjoy doing this because this is something very, very close to my heart. Right. So at the end, in the interest of time, let me wrap up and give you these 5 takeaways. You will see that technology will continue to strongly influence the way we live, work, and play in our lifetimes. It's not about big fish eating the small, but fast eating the slow. Yeah. And digitalization is not just about technology adoption. Yeah, it's a fundamental shift in how you can find newer ways to create value. And then the success of digital information goes back to the basics of change management. Yeah. What's in it for me? And one of the most important takeaways is AI will never really replace humans, but humans who can work with AI will replace humans who cannot. And this is really one of the key learnings. And that's why I really suggest anyone who wants to do anything and give back to shipping should venture into AI skills and then try and work with AI, because this is the future. And if you cultivate a mindset of lifelong learning and having resilience through change, that's really the best way to prepare yourself. Right. So, and like, remember, failure is actually a stepping stone to success, right? This I always tell everyone, and that's why I'm so fond of sports and I advocate sports, because sports is something which teaches you to lose gracefully, right? And then come back stronger, right? So that's, in summary, the secret to digital is really analog, which are people. That's you and me, literally. All right, then. I hope, in terms of time, we are okay. And I hope you people were not bored to death and you could find something meaningful from this. But most importantly, if ever you sort of need any mentorship or any guidance, I'm always available for you.
Thank you, sir, for that enlightening session. Your ideas on digitalization and sustainable practices have given us a fresh perspective and much to reflect upon. We now invite Commander Gaurav Agarwal, retired sir, to share his thoughts as our guest speaker. Sir has always been a strong pillar of support for the DMET Samvaad initiative, and we look forward to his address. Sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much. For Kaushik, sustainable development is not merely a slogan, but the passion and the mission. It is a mission for him. He works with a passion for sustainable development, which is why even after active employment, he has taken this up as his challenge. Nothing is as vital as sustainable development today. From that flows sustainable shipping. Obviously, we have to leverage technology to the maximum extent to achieve sustainable development. I recommend all cadets today to be aware of all aspects of sustainable development on board the ship and especially all around them. The best learning of today, which the young cadets should take, is what Mr. Kaushik said: AI will never replace humans, but humans who can work with AI will replace humans who cannot. There is no doubting this statement, the truth of this statement. If you cannot work with technology, you are of no use to anybody, to man or beast. On a lighter note, technology, I feel technology has passed me by. Till very recently, an online check-in used to be a victory of sorts for me. These days, I still celebrate if I can use Digi Yatra successfully. I have that option of not embracing technology because I'm in my sunset years. But you guys who are in your sunrise years have no option but to adopt technology all around you so that you can benefit from its advantages optimally. It's very important. You guys don't have that option of not adopting technology. I had it. I was lucky. You guys have to adopt and you will adopt. Considering the amount of technology you guys are exposed to, and with learnings like this, you guys will adopt to technology much more better than me. It is good to see. I was at the campus on in August, in July, and there's one area where I want to say something. When I was in a naval base in INS Shivaji Lonavla, we had something called a Shramdan. It's a very unique concept where everybody in the base, right from the commanding officer downward, with families, come out of their houses on a Sunday morning just for 2 hours, and they do a cleanup of the area around their premises. Believe me, it can work wonders. I think I request the cadets and the director and the faculty to give this idea some thought. We can make our campus the best MTI campus in the country. There's no doubt about it, considering the infrastructure which you all have. But this effort will be required. It will work if it is not only the first years who are out doing the cleaning. First years can well be forced to work, as we also are. But if the senior cadets join in, then I have no doubt that we can make our Kolkata campus the best in India. This is just a suggestion from my side. I had come around 2 to 3 years back. I had spoken to the then first years about this. But unfortunately, I could not follow up on that. I'm sure 5 of them will remember that they had sort of volunteered. I would request them to take up this mission of having the best campus, best MTI campus in India. But for that, the senior cadets have to join in. My request is to the senior cadets: you must join in the Shramdan and make it a success. Having said that, I think I will now hand over back to the DMET SAMVAAD team. Always a pleasure talking to you guys. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for your encouraging words and for standing by this initiative. I'm sure we will have this cleanliness right as soon as possible, sir. Before we open the floor for the questions, we request all the participants to kindly pass their questions to the nearest coordinator. These will then be addressed during the Q&A session. While the questions are being collected, we are going through the presentation showing the recent highlights of the institutions. a few glimpses of the recent company visits in the campus. We had the honor to host Iswan's medical seminar for sales and seafaring. This annual cultural sports festival of our institution, bringing together the cadets, alumni, participants across the maritime community. Cacophony serves as a cultural show of Tempest, providing a platform for participants to express their artistic and creative talents. Propulsion represents a technical forum of Tempest encompassing a diverse range of competitions that encourage innovation, problem solving, and maritime expertise. Chuck Review, the sporting arena of Tempest dedicated to promoting athleticism, teamwork, and competitive spirit. Alumni Night, a distinguished concluding event of Tempest designed to strengthen bonds between the current cadets and the alumni. It serves both as a celebration and an institute's legacy and a platform for inspiring future maritime professionals. The cross-country marathon is a test of endurance, stamina, determination, bringing together cadets across all batches in a spirited long-distance run.
Passing out parade is a solemn and proud ceremonial event marking the culmination of cadets training. The parade symbolizes the transition from cadet life to professional service in the maritime industry. The inauguration of the prestigious Dr. R. Center of Excellence in Maritime. DMET celebrated the 79th Independence Day, followed by a cultural event presented by Enigma. Moving forward, on the occasion of the Nilduti, we would like to call upon the blessing of Lord Ganesha to bless us with good luck and healthy life. Now, to the Q. We have already collected some questions from our vigilant cadets. The first one is from Cadet WL. He is from 2024 entry batch, and his question is modern technology sufficiently boosting us forward in order to reach IMO's net zero target by 2050?
Right. Yeah. So, do you want me to answer that?
Yes, sure, sir.
Okay. All right. Yeah, sure. So the short answer to that is very much so. Very much so. And all sort of engine manufacturers, shipbuilders, and all the digital transformation technologies, which includes Internet of Things and things all related to the adoption of these technologies, are working in a way so as to adopt these modern technologies. So, and with AI and with additive manufacturing thrown in for good measure, that it's a very good recipe to take entire shipping forward, right? I mean, maybe net zero by 2050 might not be possible realistically, maybe. I mean, but that's my thought. We still have 25 years to go, so anything can happen over there. But even if we are able to push back and adopt some of the green transition, adopt some of the new technologies, reduce wastage, reduce our sort of impetus on fossil fuels. If we do all these, then we would be able to at least have a better planet to save for your children and grandchildren. Thank you. Good question.
Yes. Cadet Gaurang Tripathi from the 2025 entry batch has raised the following question. Sir, if you had the chance to bring one positive change in today's maritime training system, what would that be and why?
Okay, so that's a very good question. And just for your information, I have worked 4 years in a Maritime Training Institute. I was the quality manager of an institute called Applied Research International, ARI in Delhi, where I was also working on simulation development. And that really answers the question. The one change which you must bring to the curriculum is to include more digital trends, more of AI into the curriculum. However, you still have to go out of the classroom and look at the practical aspects. You can't just sit in the class and be on your phone. No, that's not what I mean by AI adoption, right? So when you're adopting in your curriculum and syllabus, if you want to include digital trends, you have to have a healthy hybrid mix of both. So that's the one thing I would like to change in most of the training institutes where it's mostly the meta manual and the STCW competencies which we are trying to cover, but you have to go beyond that. I hope this answers your query.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you for the engaging questions and to our speakers for their insightful answers. We have some more questions, but due to time constraints, I will send you, sir, whose answer would be published on the DMET Club's website. We would like to share some updates from our campus, highlighting the progress and key development at DMET. Before we in today's session, I would be like to ask my batchmate Cadet Harsraj Singh, roll number 9907, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you.
As we bring the 44 DMET SAMVAAD to a close, it is my privilege to deliver the vote of thanks. On behalf of the entire SAMVAAD team, I sincerely thank our distinguished keynote speaker, Shri Kaushik sir, for sharing his wisdom and enriching this session. I also extend our gratitude to Shri Arun Kumar Singh sir and Commander Gaurav Agarwal sir retired for their inspiring words and valuable contributions. We remain grateful to our director sir for his continued guidance and blessings. A heartfelt thank to all our alumni, faculty members, and cadets for joining us today and making this session meaningful and successful. With this, we officially conclude the 44th session of DMET SAMVAAD. Thank you and Jai Hind.
Thank you so much for having me address, and kudos to the entire team of DMET SAMVAAD, and of course to the cadets. Go out there and seek the world. Jai Hind. God bless.
Thank you, everybody. And it was a very engaging session by Mr. Kaushik Seal. And we hope to see him in further sessions also, because he has got the insight of the industry and he can enrich the cadets with his vast experience. And of course, Commander Gaurav Agarwal is a family who has always been there for SAMVAAD, and his experience is invaluable whenever he is there in any session. Thank you, cadets, for giving a chance to speak to you all, and have a very nice evening, and take care of yourselves.
So before we end the meeting, we would like to have a photograph session. You may. So.
Sure. Do we have the director also here?
Unfortunately, sir, he is not here.
No.
He's having some urgent meeting.
No worries.
Also.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
No worries.
No worries, no worries.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right then. Bye-bye, and have a nice evening, and have
Take
a
care.
nice life ahead. See you soon sometimes. Bye-bye.